PsychoticKingAJ here, bringing you another Versus. This is where we take one movie, originally made, and pit it up against a remake. Excuse me, that was terrible of me. Couldn't do that before the video? I didn't know it was gonna happen. Anyways, so, for today's Versus, we're gonna be bringing to you Assault on Precinct 13. The original Assault on Precinct 13 movie debuted in 1976, with the remake coming out in 2005. The original movie starred Austin Stoker, Darwin Johnston, and Lori Zimmer. A bunch of people I've never even heard of. I don't know, like, being in the 70s, I wasn't even thought of yet, so a lot of those actors I don't really know. With the remake coming out in 2005, starring Ethan Hawke, Lawrence Fishburne. You also have John Leguizamo in there. Yes, I know I just butchered his last name. I'd rather butcher his last name than say it very, very wrong. So I just kind of want to... Alright, but, so with John being in there, of course, you know, the second you hear his name, he is going to be that drug addict character, man. He is so great at playing those characters. Also in this movie, you have Ja Rule and Gabriel Bryce. Acting-wise, so let's get into the story first, you know, like, why jump all the way ahead and skip 3/4 of the video? You guys came here to watch this, so I'm going to give you the information. Alright, so the 76 original storyline was a cop and criminals have to band together to fend off a precinct from a gang. The 2005 remake was a cop and a bunch of criminals have to fend off corruption and survive the night. So, both movies have the same base structure, we'll say. Precinct 13 is closing its New Year's. There's not much left in the precinct. A lot of stuff has been moved to the new precinct. The original starts off with a group of gang members in an alley and a bunch of cops shooting them up. The gang members then retaliate and form a blood pact to basically kill as many cops as they can. Now, the rest of the movie, the rest of the stuff that's taking place outside the movie, you don't really see, you just hear about. The gang's stealing cars, they're killing a bunch of people, there's a bunch of murders, a bunch of stuff going on, and that's where all the cops are, is they're all out dealing with those issues. So it's left up to the sergeant who's been assigned to the last nights of Precinct 13. I always want to say assault. So the sergeant that's been assigned to the last hours of Precinct 13 has to basically take a caravan, I think is what they're called, maybe not, convoy, or something like that, of prisoners. Okay, so there's a bus full of prisoners. One of them's sick, so they have to pull over, they can't keep going. And the only precinct they can actually make it to is, of course, Precinct 13. So they get stuck in this war zone and have to band together with the cops to fight off this immense gang. And it's not like just one, it's an interracial gang. So like you have, you know, Hispanics, African Americans, white people, Caucasians. Sorry, that was racist. I'm being all like politically correct, and I come to my own race and I'm just like, what the hell, let's be racist and call us white. Anyway, so it's a huge gang. There's like thousands of them coming to attack this precinct. So that's the base story for the original. The remake, however, now spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, might occur, and I'm terribly sorry for that. Well, it's not really a huge spoiler. So the movie starts out with Ethan Hawke and a couple of his partners doing a drug bust undercover. Ethan Hawke gets shot and wounded, not very bad. He gets shot in the leg, but his two partners end up dying. So he ends up taking a job at Precinct 13, knowing it's closing, so he doesn't have to make hard decisions. It's New Year's Eve, so there's an immense snowstorm, which, again, there's a bus full of convicts that have to pull over due to the storm, and they come inside. That being said, the movie changes completely because one of the convicts is a cop killer and just brutally, I don't know, he's a badass, basically. So what ends up happening is instead of a gang, it changes to being a corrupt force of cops trying to kill Bishop, played by Lawrence Fishburne, in the hopes of not being caught themselves, I guess. So, let's jump to the characters. In the original movie, the only character you ever really get a feel of is Darwin, who is our main bad criminal. Turns around and helps save the day. And he's really cocky, he's really a badass. You get a great feeling from him. The rest of the characters are lackluster. You don't really see any development or any personal characteristics of them. But in the remake, you have Ethan Hawke's character, who, after being shot, is now, he's a drunk. He's seeing a psychiatrist. There's a lot of character development there. We have Lawrence Fishburne's character, who's Bishop, who's, you see a lot of character development there. You get a lot of background characteristics on him as well. Even the lesser characters, Ja Rule's character and John's character, you get background feelings on them. You get to know them more than anything else. So, with that being said, let's jump right into the technical aspects of the movie. In the original, it was a small army of gangsters. So there was a lot more people. But you never got that feeling in the movie at all, really. It was always just one or two of these gangbangers on screen, maybe 4 or 5 at certain times. Other than the times when you see a mob of them walking. It was never that mob shooting. It was always just those 3 or 4 or 5 guys over here or over there. The shots in this movie, I know I have to relate it back to being 76, right? It was 76, I believe. Yeah, I have to relate it back to being 76. But I mean, a pump-action shotgun still needs to pump to be able to fire the next shot. The shots, the squubs were very horribly placed. His hand's on a wall, and then all of a sudden he moves his hand, and the shot's right below where his hand was going to be. And it doesn't happen once. It doesn't happen twice. It happens a lot. Where, they're missing by just that much. Every shot, it doesn't feel honest. There's also some technical errors where you see debris fallen, objects moved from one shot to another. There's a clock that literally falls right off the wall, and then in the next shot it's partially hanging off the wall. It's just little things like that, and they're so dominant They're so focusable. A lot of movies have these errors, but a lot of movies aren't as badly shown as this movie is. Camera placement and such is a really big change, and they didn't get it at all right. Whereas the remake's technical aspects are a lot improved, obviously, because it's 2005. We've come a long way. But on top of that, instead of it being a gang, it's corrupt cops. They have the knowledge, they have the know-how, they have advanced weaponry. It feels more honest. It feels better. There's a lot of things in the first movie where they have a gun that has a silencer that you can't really put a silencer on, but they somehow figured out how to. It's just small things like that that really bug you within the original movie. I'm just checking my notes real quick here. We're going to jump right on into the ending. And this is where the spoilers are going to be. Not really. So in the original, the 1976 movie, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but what I am going to tell you is you're going to be very disappointed. You expect an action movie to have that final big shootout. That, we're going to do one last stand. All action movies basically have this. It's nothing new. This action movie's last stand is literally the shortest garbage, is the only real way I can put it, that I've ever seen. It's just so anticlimactic that you're like, really? That's really? Whereas in the remake's climactics, it V's. So what happens is, it goes very climactic, and then right when you think it's about to come down and, fan out for the rest of the movie, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Talking about story arcs, right? Climax is up here, and then it bridges out for the rest of the movie. Well, this movie has its climax point, comes down, then hits the second climax point and comes out, which is really well done. It's hard to capture in a lot of movies, but this movie does hit it right well. So, that being said, you get satisfaction. I don't want to say I don't like saying satisfaction in death, but it is a movie. But there's the satisfaction of an ending. Of it not just being like, hey, we blew our budget, let's just throw this in there and call it a day. You get something out of it. So overall storyline, I have to go with the remake. The remake storyline just makes more sense. It's better put together, and it feels better from start to finish. Character-wise, I'm going to have to go with the 05 movie again. The character development was so much better. I don't know if it was a time era where they weren't really worried about characters, or I'm missing something, but the character development was not there in the original. Where it is in the remake, you have character development, even on your secondary characters that you never really, you're like, oh, I don't care about this guy, but you're getting background on him. So, it's just so much better in my opinion. Technically, again, 05. I'm sorry. The errors that happen within the original are just too much for me to overlook. So, with that being said, let's pick a winner. I know in the first issue of Versus, we didn't really pick a winner. Because, honestly, in the first issue of Versus, both those movies stand out as being great movies. In this issue, we have a definite winner. Our definite winner is... Ding, 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 2005. The original movie is okay for what it is. Don't get me wrong. There are some okay points of action, and the storyline is interesting. Be it a book, would have been better than a movie. The remake, however, is deeper within its storyline and characters. It puts emphasis on things that the original didn't, which draws you in even more to the story. There's more tactical action parts in it, where the gun fights are more fights than just random shots here and there. And of course, a big hint is the ending. The climactic finish of the remake film makes the movie so much better than the original. In my honest opinion, we're gonna say we respect the original movie for what it was. But if you're gonna want to watch a good Assault on Precinct 13 movie in today's day and age, just watch the remake. You know, respect that it is a remake, but it's better than the first one. And that doesn't happen a lot in today's movies and media. So, you know, be prepared for a lot of movies to have ups and downs and be kind of equal. But sometimes it will come out like it did today and have a definite clear winner. Alright guys, again I'm going to finish you off here. Please subscribe now. It's more important than ever to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. YouTube has changed the way they're doing stuff. We are still going to be here for you guys, still putting out content for you guys, still banging away on those drums, so don't you worry. But make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you know when my new videos are coming up. Also, don't forget, you know, share me with your friends and family. If you like what I'm doing here, chances are your friends and family are going to like it too. We've got a lot of great content coming up, a lot of the same types of content coming up. I promise you that I'm going to have more energy for my videos. My videos are going to be getting better and better and better and better. Bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So don't worry, we're going to be working on that. Obviously, we got the photo editing stuff, blah, 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 blah. So on and so forth. That being said, I'm going to leave you all with that. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, the bell icon. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitter, @KingPsychotic. Hit me up on Facebook, PsychoticKingAJ. Don't forget, I do stream here and on Twitch. My Twitch channel is twitch.tv/PsychoticKingAJ. Live streams are going to be taking place sporadically for the next couple weeks. Kind of dim lighting, but they are going to be happening. February 2nd, we get the new TV, and we are going to be live streaming a lot. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon. And I will see you all next time. PsychoticKingAJ, out.